All right, now the question is, where is that Guinevere going to go? And it's going to be the Bruno, who's going to be hovered here.
And the Gusion as well. Bruno locked in. What is going
just
on?
One wish right now. You gotta use the Neymar skin.
Oof.
Yeah, use the
absolutely.
Neymar skin, right? If Civ, you better use the Neymar skin here. But the Gusion gets picked up. And it does feel like it does seem like Jotun is actually going to be using the. It's a Kaja mid. They can still swap. They can still swap.
True. I mean, it's not unheard of. We've seen it actually perform before. As you mentioned, it's not only about crowd control. It's about having that wave clear as well. It's having that pick-off potential to set up for your jungler if he chooses to go and show up in your lane. So for Argentina, it's not looking too complicated. But for Slovenia, I am quite curious to see how they want to try and make this happen. The Guinevere most likely will be a laner.
XP lane, I believe. Just like, well, we saw.
Or will it be a roam? A roam Guinevere?
It can be roam, but then, yeah, if the Guinevere goes roam, then the Akai will go to the XP lane. We've seen both of these, but again, we're going to see the Vexana in here up against the Gusion.
All right.
Up against the Kaja. 2 melee. There's a lot of melee coming in from Argentina. And honestly, the Vexana works on paper here, right?
Yes.
You already have your ultimate, which is another target for all these melee targets from the side of Argentina. I think Slovenia have drafted themselves a pretty solid composition. Good disengage, good damage, but they're going to have to get to those item power spikes. The Beatrix is going to be the main win condition here for Team Slovenia. Yeah, into an equalizer. 1-1 is a possibility, but for Team Argentina, they're looking to get that clean sweep to end the day fresh here. As, again, Jotun will start on the purple buff with Vizo as well. Both teams opting for the same route.
Well, it's a Martis against a Gusion. So in the jungle matchup alone, the Martis has a lot of advantage. But as you mentioned, it's not only about that. It's whether or not the rest of the team can enable you, because if you go aggressive like this, you get kited away. Especially if you're going alone. So wow, that's just aggression coming in from both teams.
Again, Vizo going to be caught here. Arakiel trying to help his jungler, but it's going to be first blood picked up by Meteoro. Clyde coming in, trying to help, but look at the damage coming in from Civ on the Bruno, on the Neymar skin, absolutely styling as he dishes out so much damage, free hitting and winning here, dashing forward, looking for more damage right now. He does have the flicker to actually go for the kill, but he decides not to do so. A wise decision, knowing that they already have the dub in the first initial trade.
I feel like Slovenia, they require a bit more levels to try and have that kind of level of aggression. They're up against, as we mentioned earlier, Lapu-Lapu, Kaja, Atlas, and a Bruno. Technically, all these heroes, including the Gusion, can be a lot more dangerous in the early game. And Slovenia completely, didn't recognize the danger in going aggressive there, and they paid the price. So Argentina already with a bit of a lead. We'll have to see Slovenia. Whoa, as I say that though.
Wow. It's a kill over to Civ on the Bruno. We all know how much a Bruno can snowball here, but Civ is going to be caught. Has that flicker that he saved earlier. And that's where it comes to play. Argentina, like you mentioned, Rashi, that's just efficiency. Not going for crazy plays, knowing when they've already gone the win, and pulling back when they have the dub.
And look at that, pressure in the bottom side, and just like that, instant movement towards the turtle. And if Slovenia tries and move aggressively, I think they have the advantage because they have the engage.
Oh, that's a fatal links onto 3 members right now, and this is the wombo that we talked about, that we mentioned. As early as this, Argentina have gone a 3,000 gold lead, getting a whole lot of gold from the shields as well. In the early game, it's 4-0. It feels even more one-sided than game 1 right now, but obviously we're going to take a look at the replay first before we go further. What an engage by Erwin.
As we mentioned, Slovenia being very concerned about the pick-off potential. They crowd together and they get hit with an insane fatal links. So Erwin is the one looking for all these plays to happen. And if he gets a solid one, getting 2 or 3 members, that is an easy follow-up coming in with Jotun on the Gusion as well as Papadop on the Lapu-Lapu. But ooh, in the bottom side,
Clyde just not having a good time.
Yeah.
Clyde is getting absolutely bullied. Civ, okay, this is the good thing actually about the Bruno, right? You're very good at clearing up the waves here early on, but you can already see the Divine Judgment coming in. Jotun trying to jump in. with that burst damage, but will not be able to find it. He jumps in under the turret, forcing a flicker and an Eternal Guard from Rimuru. A lot of resources burned out practically for nothing here, and it looks like Jotun just does not care. Jumps in under the turret knowing the Eternal Guard was used. There's no more CC that they can apply onto Jotun. And Civ is just racking up gold. It's another kill for Jotun.
He is roaming across the map from bottom to top, collecting kills as he goes. What is going on here? Argentina with a completely different look. Now it's not just macro. Even if you just play defensively, they are taking the fight to Slovenia, and they are struggling to find an answer right now. Arakiel is on that Akai, but they don't have any damage to try and trade back in these very, very early game skirmish engages. And with the turtle spawning, Argentina will look to pressure Slovenia yet again. And this is a very difficult situation because of the tools available yet again to Argentina.
It's tough. Look at the pressure for Argentina. Erwin, my goodness, jumps in again with the Fatal Links, but it's going to be cancelled out with a heavy spin. Now Vizal trying to do some damage control, but the damage comes in, and look at the stun onto 2 with the flicker as well. Bonnie going to be taken down. That's a retry steal from the side of Vizal, but it does not matter as it's a 2-for-1 trade, and they're definitely going to be able to look for some conversion on the board with Rimuru forced to recall at low HP. No, not Rimuru, my bad. It was actually Arakiel. And again, well, Rimuru's not going to be recalling. A stun comes in from Papa Dog, and that might just be that bottom side turret falling to the hands of Argentina.
This is a replay from what happened earlier. As we mentioned, pressure for the turtle, and once your opponents, your prey comes in, flicker of Fatal Links, and the follow-up. It was initially disabled by the heavy spin, but overall, that is enough damage to ensure that Argentina have the fight in the bag. That's the Gushin, man. Very solid single target damage, but if everyone gets clumped up by the Fatal Links, he can very easily just decimate the whole team.
And look at this again. That's going to be Erwin who's able to lock them up, forcing Arakiel to actually use the heavy spin, still saving his Fatal Links. Clyde is not going to be able to get out. They're not even going to use the Fatal Links. Civ tries to look for a quick elimination there, but he's not going to be able to find it. Vizo in the mid lane trying his best to actually clear out the way, trying to buy some time. That's the Divine Judgment coming in. The burst from the side of Jotun. Absolutely insane as Arakiel. The tank does not feel like a tank in the face of the damage from Jotun.
In the face of the gold difference, almost, what is this, 5k, 6k almost? This is very difficult for Slovenia to deal with right here. They have tanks, but the tanks, as you mentioned, Mirko, cannot serve as a front line. So Argentina, they are able to slowly but surely take control of the map. And you can see, even the tankiest member from the side of Slovenia is forced to concede that control. And while all this is happening, Civ is just farming up a storm.
And even in that XP lane, Papa Dog baiting. Bonnie going to be bursted down. Jotun doing everything, dodging away from the Eternal Guard. Looking for the kill onto Vizal. Heavy spin, pinning them both down right now, but the damage won't be enough for the side of Rimuru. Shutdown picked up by Arakiel. Probably the worst member to have that shutdown as Erwin jumps in with the Fatal Links, and that's the Divine Judgment as well, suppressing Rimuru. They're doing so much, and even in the gold lane, it's another solo kill for Civ up against Clyde, who has the pressure, the weight on his shoulders to carry the team on the Beatrix.
A series of unfortunate events for Slovenia all across the map. If you look at the item differential here, it is a stark contrast. You can see that every single core member from Argentina have their damage items ready. The Bloodless Axe for the Lapu Lapu, the Dominance Ice as well to curb that regen and make the tankiness not so tanky, and they keep going again and again. The snipe comes in and there is damage, but how often can that happen?
It's so hard, honestly, Arashi. Looking at it for Team Slovenia, I wanted to say their only way they can win this game is if they bank on just Clyde getting in. Oh my goodness, just barely dodging onto that one right now. The flicker comes through for Rimuru. Pops into Eternal Guard. That's the heavy spin as well by Arakiel. But with all those ultimates burnt out, it's looking like Argentina want to look for a re-engage. Oh my God. Jumps in with the Fatal Links, finds 3 members out of nowhere. And Meteoro picks up all the kills on the Kaja. A triple kill for him. And there is nothing that Slovenia have to respond back to that. Erwin was the only one caught And he's the roamer. That's worth.
Unreal, man. You can see that Jotun as well as Papadog, they have so much pressure available here, and they're able to corral the members of Slovenia to try and avoid getting picked off, getting shut down just like that. But once they do that, Erwin, every single time he goes for that flicker fatal links, it's been such value. It is unreal. The game plan for Argentina is absolutely solid, and from the looks of things, it might just be a matter of time.
Argentina are so solid, right? They look at Commander Erwin and they go straight on, charging into the base. Whatever Erwin does, they follow. And right now it's working. Again, you can see the base turret passive have all been baited out. The Lord has spawned in. 9 minutes in, Argentina are looking for that Lord. Civ has actually cleared out that bottom side. And that means just Slovenia won't be able to contest this. Jotun can actually just solo it.
They had used the Magic Sentry. They saw members of Argentina in the jungle, but even then, what can they do? Their only source of poke is going to be the snipes, but even then, afterwards, who do you send to open up vision to try and check out what kind of dangers are in the bush? Because if you make a mistake, you get completely annihilated.
Arakiel trying to look for the play, but Divine Judgment was perfectly placed. Arakiel going to be taken down. Ball down by Civ there. Just got shot. Look at that damage, Arashi. That's a roamer. That's the tank. That's the man you want to soak in damage, and he gets melted down like that.
And you can see that Slovenia is feeling the pressure. They're trying to make those desperate plays happen, but Argentina is just way too patient about it. And look at that yet again.
Another engage happening. Bonnie going to be taken down as well. Still able to actually flicker out. Meteoro flickering forward to find the double. Clyde looking for the snipes. Getting it. Meteoro in the midst of it all. Going to be taken down. It's a shutdown by Clyde, but Civ is here to pick up the scraps. It's a 4-4-2 trade. Arakiel going to fall as well, as that's going to be a wipe out. And Team Argentina will send Team Slovenia down to the lower brackets as they progress to the next stage of the IESF World Championship.
Flexing out in the first showing of IESF that they can actually do it both ways. You want to go slow? You want to go for macro? We can do that. You want to go for micro engages? We got you covered as well. So for Argentina, waits for everyone to make the play because everyone understood what their role in this game is, and the match MVP is still going to be Jotun from Argentina, 7-1 and 12. That Gusion in both team fights and in those split push skirmish situations, absolutely lethal.
48,000 damage down.
And in the mid game even, you saw that in 2 hits, any kind of squishy member. Look at the items from Slovenia. No physical defense yet because there's just not enough resources. If they all went for physical defense, okay, they can survive, but there's no damage. And then Jotun as well as Meteoro can just one-shot you. But even if you go for magical defense, Papadog as well as Civ will destroy you. So the diversity in the damage source